Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. It's my first video into the new year of 2025. I wanted to give you guys update and insights of things that have happened in the markets for the last few days. First things first, we need to look at the landscape of what's happened in the majors, such as Bitcoin and other major cryptocurrency assets. So as you can see with BTC putting in a very nice move from the beginning of the year, which was right here, gaining ground all the way from a low of about 92,000 up to a high of about 102,000, we are now pulling back. The yearly open for Bitcoin currently is right here. Okay, the monthly open, the yearly open is right here around 92, $93,000. Right now, BTC sits at 95.2 with pretty decent volatility that we've had over the last 24, 48 hours. And altcoins themselves have pulled back a decent amount too. From major altcoins like Aptos, which has been lackluster, to things like AVAX, again, somewhat lackluster for the last maybe entire year. Link, which was a decent performer for the last, 3 to 6 months, also been very choppy since the start of the new year. And then, of course, the bigger ones like Solana, um, pretty much not really inspiring that much hope, given that it did get very, very close, I think, to the previous all-time high. It looks like it breached it, but failed to hold above it, and now is pulling back with what looks to be like a local high, a low, and maybe what seems to be a lower high on a weekly time frame. Ethereum, probably one of the not so great looking assets here as well, right? Consolidating in a very nice 2.5 year ascending triangle. Once that breakout does happen, I think the upside for ETH is probably going to be $8,000 to $10,000. Again, none of this is financial advice, but just my general targets based on technicals and market patterns. But again, with the market looking the way that it does over the last few days, the market selling off, as well as US equities looking a little bit toppy, right? This is the daily chart on the ES, which is the S&P 500 futures. It looks like we're creating maybe a high sell block up here, meaning it's a very tight, choppy pattern where more often than not, a form of distribution happens. And once it starts to release below some of these um, lows that have been formed, you could probably expect a decent pullback, coming about, right? But again, so far so good, right? We're still in this choppy block of a range. Similar thing happened right here, and then of course SPX, broke out higher. So it's entirely possible that happens again. However, I do think that the markets were extended over the last several months, especially in crypto, BTC, and altcoins, right? Now, there's definitely a glimmer of hope, a light, where we can pay attention to different assets in different corners of the crypto universe. One of which is things that I've pointed out before, which is AI coins, right? If you look at my video from 9 days ago, okay, I did a video here specifically highlighting things like DBot and DBot, which is the project which is trading somewhere around sub $1 million. I told our Discord community about DBot, in fact, around 600 to 700K. So it was a nice, by the time I mentioned it in a video, we had already gone up a 2x, right? So again, if you want to join our Discord, we do have a private side, which is a paid side. It's a lifetime payment that we offer for approximately $2,000. And that gives you sort of early insights and education on things that I'm looking at in the market much earlier than what we see here in the public videos. So let me know if you do want to join. Drop a message below, or you could basically find me on X right here, and I can give you some access. Okay. So once again, I mentioned D-bot here in a Twitter post the same day I did the video. Again, it was somewhere around 1.2, 1.4 million, right? We had mentioned it in the private Discord community, somewhere around 600 to 700K, and now it currently trades at 5.4 million, reaching a high of almost $8 million, which was yesterday or 2 days ago. Right. So incredible things have happened in the AI front, in the robotics projects, things that I've been paying attention to, very closely, very acutely, because I'm very deep sort of in the weeds of the space. And I talk to the teams a lot, right? Like I talk to, for example, the R3D team quite a bit. And that's simply because I like their project. I like the team. I think they're good, group of guys. And I think they're doing something really incredible. These are the insights that I provide to our Discord members privately of things that I'm learning in real time. Now, by the time it gets to a video, it might be 24, 48 hours late. But by the time that happens, the market might be up already 100, 200%. That's unfortunately how crypto works, right? It moves really fast. Other assets that I've mentioned is Schizo. Now, Schizo in this video, again, December 29th, right, 9 days ago, was trading around 0.013. Schizo now trades around 0.124, approximately 50 to 75% higher than it was when I first mentioned it. Okay. So a lot of these assets, even though they went up, and by the way, when I mentioned it, it went almost like a 3x from where we talked about it, right? So this was December 29th right here, right? From here all the way to 0.042. I mean, that's a pretty solid, 3x, right? And now it's pulled back a little bit. So now the question is, well, what do we think is happening with the market? Well, I do think that the market did get a little it moved up a little too fast, too hard in a very short period of time. But I do think that these sort of pullbacks are really good in good assets, right? Like for example, Schizo, once again, I talked to the team, the people involved in the project itself quite a bit. I talked to the community quite a bit. Very, very great, group of engaged individuals who have a clear vision of how they want to execute and how they want to plan out the future for the project. And trading at 24 million, from what I've spoken to the Schizo team, right? Attending their Twitter spaces, attending their Telegram voice chats, talking to them via Twitter or Telegram groups. I think they're pretty ambitious, right? They believe that they are rivaled, if only by AI 16Z, which currently trades at $2 billion, or Virtuals, okay, which trades at $1.7 billion. Whoops. Virtuals, 1.7 billion, right? So point is that what obviously every team wants to be aiming for the high mark of what the best asset in the space is. But it's one thing to say something, lofty, and it's another to continue to build and not give up, right? In crypto, very easily, you can easily give up and, scrape away a couple hundred K or $1 million or whatever. But from what I see, from the holder count, it's continuously growing. From the people who are building in this project, they're continuously, diligent and growing. So I'm pretty excited about projects like Schizo, projects like R3D. Now, you can of course make the argument that every person says that, and then everybody has bag bias, right? Because I own R3D, I own tokens in Schizo, so of course I'm going to have that bag bias. But the way I see it is, why shouldn't you have bag bias if you know that you have spoken to the team regularly and they're hardworking people, versus buying something that you have no idea who's working behind it, what they're working on, and all you're really hoping for is the token price to go up, right? So, of course, the end result for all of us is token price go up. But the reality is it puts you at ease and it helps you sleep better at night when you know that, hey, I know that the team either has experience in this before and they're working hard, while you're sleeping or while you're not paying attention to prices, and they still have goals for execution. And I think this is the kind of stuff that generally people do not want to do the hard work in crypto, right? So I've done the hard work for you. This is again, why I sort of create my private group in Discord, just to mention to people, things that I'm speaking about, why we talk about these things, etc. Okay. All right. So anyway, Schizo, R3D. And another project that's been kind of on my radar lately is T3 AI, which it's a little rich in valuation given that they don't really have anything working or a um, product to show for it yet. But the project itself is extremely ambitious. Like I was going through their white paper. So basically, it's a under collateralized lending protocol. But basically, what they're trying to do is for example, in Aave and many of these platforms, you have to over collateralize like loans and borrows, right? Meaning for, let's just say, if you wanted to put up like, if you wanted to borrow like $100,000 worth of USDC, you probably have to put up, I don't know, like 105 or 110 in ETH, simply because ETH as an asset has its own inherent volatility. And of course, again, they want you to over collateralize on your loan that you're going to take. Again, those are just rough numbers, right? These guys speak about under collateralization because they believe that this is the way forward for the crypto space. For example, one of the examples that they give is like mortgages, right? Here in the United States or pretty much most parts of the world, if you think about it, whenever you buy, say, a home, maybe you make, I don't know, $100,000 a year in salary. But most people will buy a home like two, three, four times what their income and salary is. And so that is a form of under collateralized loan that you are effectively borrowing, right? From the bank, from the lender, whoever. And they believe that this concept should be, usable in crypto as well. Now, again, extremely ambitious idea. The problem, obviously, there could be many problems with this because simply how do you manage the risk? How are you going to make sure that, that the loan liquidations stay sort of lower, especially because of market volatility? And how do you ensure, user funds security and all that jazz, right? And so I do think that they've talked about things a lot in here in terms of managing risk, in terms of, defining risk and securing, loan and borrow programs and stuff. But I do think that there are definitely a lot of concerns that need to be ironed out first before this becomes a full-fledged platform. But nonetheless, again, the point of being in crypto is you want to be early to the thing before it becomes apparent to the world, right? Meaning, for example, you know, the AI agents platform, right? Remember, Virtuals was trading somewhere around, 100, $200 million. Whoops. Virtuals was trading somewhere around 100, $200 million down here before it really took off, right? And so for maybe a month straight, it just moved sideways before the rest of the world caught up and said, oh, we could build, hundreds of agents on this platform and they could all be worth, 100, $200 million. So you can kind of see like, this is the part of the cycle where um you know if you want to be early you got to take that capital risk, right? Because there's so much innovation, things are moving so fast in crypto, that there is sort of no reward without the first aspect of risk being taken, especially if you're first one through the door. So anyway, make sure you check out the white paper. Trust in Web3 is the name of the product. T3 AI is the ticker. And again, this is on Solana. Again, not investment advice. I do own some tokens in this. I usually, whenever I buy stuff like this, which is like anywhere less than like, 10 million, 50 million market cap, I really have to keep my size down because getting to 10 million or 20, 30 million in crypto market cap terms is not that hard, right? So if you accomplish that, like it's not a huge feat. You can basically accomplish that without even a working product. Um, that's why you want to keep your size limited, right? So if you have an investable, let's just say 100K, what I would do is put like $1,000 or $2,000 into something that's like less than 10, $20 million market cap. Um, if you uh, are looking at something beyond $100 million as a market cap, of course, again, do your own research and not financial advice, but I'm more prone to putting like 40, 50% into something like that, right? So of that 100K, 40 to 50 grand, you know, um, but that's how I operate. Doesn't mean that's how you should. Okay. So always do your research because this is crypto. It's the wild, wild west. A lot of crazy things can happen. All right. Now, we spoke about, AI and AI agents and stuff. Some of the things I've spoken about in crypto is I don't believe that there is going to be like a moat for AI agents. Like, for example, um, AI XBT. Okay, this is a individual agent. All right, individual agent right now, and it's worth close to $1 billion. Wait, no, is that the right one? Yeah, it's one of these. I think this is the wrong one. I think this is a fake. This is the real one. Sorry. So this one is worth $500 million or 400 and some change, right? Um, Luna, which is another AI agent, um, on virtuals is worth 82 million, right? The point is that agents themselves are going to be created left, right, and center over the next, 6 to 12 months. And there's going to be thousands and maybe millions of agents, and they can't all be 50, $100 million. I think there is no moat for any agent. There is no barrier to entry for any agent. Agents can be created at will, right? And they can be created in seconds and minutes. So I think the ceiling for agents themselves is limited, but the ceiling for the platforms that create the agents, for example, like AI16Z, this is a platform to create the agent. Um, Waifu, again, it's a platform to create the agent. Virtuals is a platform to create the agent. Okay. So the agent creation platforms, I think the ceiling is unlimited, right? Because you can spin up thousands and millions of agents. So the activity, the agents themselves, the value accrual is on the platform itself that creates the agent. And the agent itself is, in my opinion, um, at its birth, at its inception, already going to start having diminishing returns versus virtuals and AI16Z and Waifu that I told you about. These have, you know, exponential potential returns because simply the fact that the platform could keep spinning up agents over and over and hundreds and thousands and millions of agents. So I think it's better that we pay attention to the agent platforms and not the individual agents themselves. Okay. All right. Moving beyond, again, we spoke about, right, other aspects of crypto that really intrigue me. There's very, very few assets in crypto that are truly unique that don't really have not only a competitor, but not even a defined category. Like, for example, R3D with robotics, very, very unique and incredible. T3 AI, very, very unique and incredible because it's a under collateralized loan lending, DeFi platform that uses agents. Okay. So the agents and the AI agents are supposed to basically do the automatic autonomous job of ensuring sort of loan requirements, managing, collateral, managing portfolio dynamics, and at the same time, reading what's happening in markets to ensure loan stability, right? That's a lot for any human to do. Even like algorithmic processes cannot really keep up the par of how much is happening in markets. And so you may actually need agent or multiple agents to basically keep in track of how they can manage something like an under collateralized, loan lending platform. So I think this is again a very unique area in the subcategory which I think is up and coming is DEFAI, which is DeFi, right? Or DeFi. I don't know how to say that properly, but it just sounds funny. So within this DEFAI category, right, you have very few limited handful of coins. Hey Anon is on the Sonic ecosystem. I think this is on Solana. I think this is on ETH. Quane, I think is Quane. I had mentioned like I think like a few days back, and everybody told me it was a scam. Now I thought it was a scam too, which I still think it's a scam. And so I had bought it at like I don't know, um like a 1.5 million market cap, and I like puked my position 50% lower. And then I went all the way to like 200K, and now it's at 2 million, right? This is a problem in crypto. It's like you really don't ever know what's real, what's not. A lot of this shit just seems so fake or very grifty. So I try to stay away from anything that like gives me warning signs like that. And that's okay because again, like one of the common mistakes that you'll make in a cycle like this in crypto, especially a cycle so early pertaining to AI agents and new categories like DeFi, even something like meme coins, is you'll constantly rotate from one coin to another. It's okay to like cut losers, but try to cut a loser before it becomes, from a scratch to a bleed, right? So if you feel like, okay, I'm not really feeling this, I'm already down 5%, 10%, that's fine. But once you're already down 40, 50% and you're cutting there, remember, you have to find a coin or the next project that you're going to invest in to not only 100% or 2x your money, but beyond that, just so you can get profitable. So that's why like cutting losers or simply bouncing from coin to coin is going to be extremely detrimental for your expected value in your portfolio. And it's simply because it's like death by a thousand cuts, right? Even if you cut 10, 20% every time of losers, like you're going to get completely wiped out, or you'll need like a 2x, 4x just to get back to break even. So do your research, manage your size properly, in crypto because it's wild, wild west. All right. Anyway, yeah, I mean, we spoke about NVIDIA and robotics and T3 AI, Coin, projects like DeFi. Of course, the larger crypto market is still going through its, ups and downs. Not quite sure what's going on, but there's a lot of shakiness happening in markets. I like to pay attention to these guys. Like you could pay attention to Fei Zhao. Um, he talks a lot about macro stuff, and I think, he's extremely bullish, but I know that he's been very cautious over the last like few weeks regarding um, regarding what's happening in macro, and so you want to be careful, right? Like now is not the time in the market where you take excessive risk because a lot of money has been made, profit taking as well as underlying risk means like the market can actually go lower than you may anticipate, choppier than you may anticipate. So just be cautious. But at the same time, again, like I like to still look at categories like AI or DeF AI, and I think there's opportunities there. And if there's opportunities, I like to take a stab, when possible. Okay, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck. Take care. Cheers. And yeah, come join our Discord. I'm gonna post the link here in the YouTube video. So come join. And hope to see you all there. We have a lot of like private chats, all the locks that you see. Okay. Good luck. Take care.